What's up, everybody, and welcome to Timberborn. Chances are you've seen the title of the video and you're asking yourself what a city builder game with beavers might look like. We're going to jump in and check that out. I gotta say, I was just as curious when I first saw this game myself. I was like, well, city building and beavers, how could you really put that together? What kind of game do you get? I was quite surprised, actually. I got sucked into the game for a couple hours just playing it by myself because, believe it or not, it ended up being a pretty wonderful combination. The game is a lot of fun, but I'm not just going to sit here and tell you about it. I'm going to jump in and show you. Now, before I begin, I do want to let you guys know that this is going to be a beta version of the game we were looking at. It's very, very early in development. A lot of missing features, could be some bugs and various things that we run into. So do keep that in mind when we are playing. Now, I want to also say that in the 3 to 4 hours that I actually got sucked into this game and played it by myself, I didn't run into any bugs at all. I actually didn't see any game-breaking bugs or anything that prevented me from being able to play for those 3 to 4 hours. No save game corruptions, nothing like that. So the game's pretty solid, or it's at least on pretty solid footing. And hey, there's actually enough content in the game that you could play for a pretty good amount of hours. So I'm already super psyched to see where the development of this game continues to go. And if you want to follow along in the development yourself, go down below in the description, find the link to the game, click on it. I know they were doing some free beta trials and everything like that, so you too might be able to play the game, or at least, if they're not doing the free beta trial anymore, follow the game's development and follow it on Steam and everything, wishlist it on Steam, so that way you can check it out when they do open the game back up and when its eventual release comes. I believe it's fall 2020. So we're going to start a new game. I don't want to continue the one I've got here. I want to kind of dive in and show you guys right from the beginning so we can actually select our race as a beaver. Now, I thought this was kind of cool because we got the common beaver. They lead a healthy, balanced lifestyle. They're great for your first playthrough. But we've got some other types of beavers here, and they actually play a little bit differently. Each one does. Now, I haven't unlocked the other ones. They do have to be unlocked, and they can be unlocked in the beta. And you can see the unlock there. An average well-being of 8. I'll kind of explain that when we get in the game. And these beavers here, they kind of require different things to survive. Consider them like different races of beaver, but also sort of a unique challenge to play as those two. So if you want to pause and read those, you can. But we're going to be just playing as the common beaver. Now they've got a couple of different things here. We've got the canyon, we've got islands, we got waterfalls. I already did the canyon, that was recommended. The islands is a little bit bigger map. Waterfalls, that's kind of cool. But I think I want to try the bigger map just to see what it looks like since I already did the canyon. And I already had a experience with that. And the islands actually sounds kind of unique to me because I know, now knowing what I know about the game, I can see how the islands would probably actually be a pretty fun experience. And the map is what, like twice the size? And the maps are already actually pretty good size for what they are. So it's kind of cool. Now, like the title of the game suggests, this is a city building game with beavers. So I haven't found out yet if there's really any type of conflicts or anything like that in the game that might lead to your beavers being attacked or something outside of, you know, just starvation, stuff like that, water. Your beavers need various things to survive. Okay, so this is the map here. Wow, this whole section here is just like desert or something. I've never even seen that. So that's all there too. This is huge. This is a very big map compared to the one I played on originally. I mean, it's huge. Hopefully we don't have any issues in terms of, because I see the game's already, it's a little bit slower actually on the bigger map. Probably should have went with the recommended, but no matter. It looks like it's going to be fun nonetheless. So this is our starting area here, okay? So now it gives you kind of a good look of the map. We can kind of move around. You get all these cool different views and stuff. Looks neat, right? Actually a very good looking game. So we started on this island here. Not a whole lot of trees nearby, but we'll utilize what we've got to build up and start. So you start with a decent helping of beavers. I'm gonna put it like that. And you know, I'll kind of go through everything as we play because I really just want to get this kind of rolling forward. But we've got 11 beavers here. 7 of them are adults and 4 of them are children. The children will eventually grow up to be adult beavers. The adult beavers will continue to reproduce to create more children, and thus the cycle continues. I have no idea if beavers die outside of starvation and water. I don't know if they die from age. I want to say yes. I want to say that's definitely a thing, but I just don't know. Because I can't remember if I saw that when I was playing earlier. So this is our labor house here. It's kind of it's basically just your starting building. It's where your beavers are going to store the beginning of the game resources. Eventually you can build more dedicated stockpiles to harvesting resources and kind of making that more efficient. But for now, this is where they're going to store most of their food and wood and all sorts of other stuff that they've got. And beavers can actually work at this and do things like cutting trees, building buildings, and hauling materials. So you can actually put workers on this. Now our beavers, they don't have any place to live, so they're just gonna make these nice little sleeping mats, and that's where they're gonna sleep when nighttime comes. But we're gonna want to get them some proper beaver housing here shortly. Now the game has already assigned 4 of the beavers to doing hauling and tree cutting, stuff like that. So they're already up there. We can actually add more if we want to. So I think we'll put 6 beavers on that actually. And then that leaves us with 1 beaver with no job, but he'll have a job here in a bit once we start building some things for food and stuff. So down here, this here is where you can cut down things like trees and harvest berries and stuff like that. We're going to want to do that for food. So cut down mature trees and plants. You can cut down mature, or you can cut down all or half grown. We'll just do mature for now because I don't want to cut anything down that's not really ready to be harvested. Over here, if it's grayed out, it means we can't reach it for now. Eventually, if we build more paths and stuff, then we can reach further away places. So that's what we're also going to focus on doing. I think what I really actually like about this game is just laying things out. There's like always really cool ways to solve problems. That was like the main thing that sucked me into this game early on, was just the crazy amount of, you know, just laying out the base to make it more efficient. If you're into like games that require you to try to set up efficiency, this game definitely does that in its own little unique way. It's not like on the Factorio level of efficiency, but it's definitely up there in terms of, you know, maybe a game like Dwarf Fortress or something. I don't want to say on complexity, I'm just talking efficiency, like stuff like that right now. You know, trying to build stockpiles in certain areas to make your beavers not have to travel as far for things like food and hauling resources, stuff like that. The paths make them go a little bit faster, so you can kind of, you know, I guess min-max that. I always kind of go ahead and put paths around my town hall so I can kind of branch off of that to the various locations that I want to go to. And paths, I don't think, yeah, they don't require anything to build, which is kind of neat. So it looks like we're going to be doing most of our berry harvesting over here, tree harvesting in these 2 areas. So we're definitely going to want to make sure we have paths at least kind of leading to those areas for now. So that when I queue up beavers to go do those various tasks, they can definitely go do that. We've got 1 beaver that's still not working. We'll get him working here in a minute. Probably doing, let's see, probably start setting up a garden here in a minute. But the biggest thing, let me explain to you right now, the most important thing, and I found this out very painfully when I first started playing, is that your beavers need water. And to get water, they need a place to actually drink it out. They won't just go get it themselves. So you got to build a watering place. So I'm going to throw one up there, but the watering place, it requires logs, and we don't have any logs. So let's go ahead and chop some of these trees down right now. And I lied. I am going to throw that 1 additional beaver on there, so he'll go do that. They're all working and constructing right now. Maybe I shouldn't have built so many paths. But that's okay, because we'll speed the game up a bit here. They'll keep working on those paths, and then once they're done with the paths, they seem to prioritize, and I don't think you can set it up any different, but they do seem to prioritize building structures over harvesting materials, which I don't think is a big deal. But you can see that they're really focused on the paths before they're focused on harvesting the logs. But once they're done with the paths, they'll all go straight to harvesting logs. And then at that point, we'll hopefully head off and get some berries and build the watering hole. And there they go right there. Now they're going to take the logs right to the watering place here instead of dropping them off to be stored. And that's the last log. So 1 beaver will finish that up right there. And now we've got a watering place. So luckily these guys now have a place to drink, so we don't have to worry about water. They're harvesting some berries and everything. You could build things like stairs and everything like that, so we can eventually traverse up to these different heights and elevations for expanding our settlement, which I think is really neat, but it requires research. So eventually we're going to want to build an inventor's hut. In fact, I find the inventor's hut to be, in my opinion, a fairly important earlier game thing to build, but food is also an issue. So we've got potatoes and we've got carrots. Now, carrots can actually be edible as soon as they are harvested, but potatoes, they cannot. As raw, they are inedible. So they must be cooked into grilled potatoes, which you could do here at a grill. So these are some pretty picky beavers. I'm going to want to find a kind of, I guess, food location. So this is what I'm talking about with the efficiency thing. You start to kind of try and map things out in the early game, where you kind of want stuff and how you want to expand, because I don't really want to, you know, I want them to be centralized around a certain area. Eventually I'm going to do housing, so I want them to have, you know, sort of a housing district. We're going to want a wood harvesting district. We're going to want stockpiles to store that wood. For now, these forests, the trees will continue to grow, but eventually I might permanently remove them just for buildings, depending on where I want to put my housing and everything. I'm thinking I want to do housing down in this area, down into here, and farming up towards the berries, and make all of this kind of a farming area. So that's going to be kind of my thing. And we're going to start with the carrots, because like I said, they could be 8 right out of the gate, basically. So I don't know, maybe we'll just, I think I want a path to go around the back, so maybe like that. But if I do that, can I fit, it looks like I wouldn't be able to fit a path between them unless I moved this path, which I can do. I could have it come off one over to here and turn that. So this is what I'm talking about the efficiency thing, and trying to make it, you know, is best laid out as possible. So let's do a farm there for sure, and let them build that, and we'll get the path started for here. Meanwhile, I'm not going to build too many more paths because I want them just to focus on harvesting the wood that they need to get that built. And I'll queue up a few more trees to get built down here. I think by day 2, we're going to want to... Oh, here we go. Everybody's starting to get thirsty, but we've got a place for them to drink, so they'll slowly start cycling to that. Only one beaver can drink at a time, so you do want to start getting some other drinking areas set up eventually. Maybe we'll do that next. We'll set up a drinking area over here, kind of a little closer to where they are going to be working on some of that other stuff. And like I said, you can see here that these other paths here didn't build, so we'll actually have to cut down these younger trees, which they'll do here in a bit, so that way we can finish the pathway. Because I'm going to move this path as well. I guess a good thing paths don't cost anything to move. Move it right over to here to make room for my farm. And okay, so then that carrot's done. So okay, a beaver's already jumped into that. Actually, one of our children has grown up to be an adult, so he jumped into that. I'm actually going to lower the amount of laborers now. So I've got 2 laborers working the carrot field. It's actually a max of 2. So that'll make it a little bit faster for us to get carrots. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete this path at least to here. Like I said, maybe eventually turn this so it's a little bit more efficient, but for now, like I said, it's fine. And we can get the other watering hole set up over here in the morning. And then lodging. How do I want to handle lodging? So each area can hold 2 adults and 1 child. So we're gonna need a good amount. I think maybe just kind of work it along here. Or do I want to have it kind of with the back to that, and then have a path going down and 2 on both sides? There's also something here, leisure. You can build a campfire. It's a place for beavers to relax and socialize in the evening. The cool thing about the leisure is that, and what I like, if we actually click and look on a beaver, it shows you kind of some of the things they need, but it also shows you some different things that you can work on. So like, beavers don't need these things. They don't need these things to survive. But if you give them these things, then they get bonuses and they become better beavers. God, that sounds so perfect. They become better beavers. So it's kind of neat, right? For example, if I give them some better food, like say grilled potatoes, their life expectancy will go up. There you go. So they do die. Now we know. So the life expectancy will go up. If you give them some fun or a social life, their fertility will go up. They'll make more children. Their work speed will go up. They'll be a little bit faster at what they do. If you give them some knowledge, their work speed goes up. Spirituality, their work speed goes up. Aesthetics, their awe. So there's a couple things that you can do that aren't really mandatory, but if you want to make your colony, once again, I'm going to use that word, more efficient, then you can do these kind of things. I just think that's really cool. So why don't we get like, I don't know, say our first house up. I'm actually going to have them cut these 2 trees down permanently so that they do that. But we could build the path there for the housing. I mean, I could turn the housing and have it here, but I think I'll just do that. If I check now, I can put the other carrot farm here as well. And then I can put something there, but I wanted to look at the leisure. Okay, so that takes up like a, what, 3x3 area. So if I did housing up to that, I think the housing actually fits in that 4x4. So I could put this here, and the housing can come right up to the campfire. So there could be a campfire at the end of each, I guess I'm going to say like housing development. I think that'd be the most efficient way to do it. So it would require building that, which the beavers are going to haul the wood and bring it there. They don't have a stockpile for wood. You can't store wood here. I didn't know that. Yeah, you really can't. So you actually have to get an area to store wood. You know, in terms of a log pile, you know, I think I'm going to put it right here for now. Maybe. Yeah, why don't we do that? That's a good place for it. We'll do that, and then we can do the path going to here. There we go. And then we can fit housing here. Okay, that's perfect. Are they hurting for food? I saw somebody was hungry. I don't have food. I have a couple berries. Okay, so we went and ate, but we do need more berries. Or at least make sure more carrots are coming along good. I've still only got 8 beavers. That's why we gotta get their social life up. If we get the fertility up, then we have the opportunity for getting more children and eventually more adult beavers. All right, so let's start getting the first lodging up, because I feel bad. Our beavers have had no place to sleep, no real place to sleep, but now they can socialize, so that should help them a little bit. And you'll start seeing the sleeping mats go away as they start using the housing. So now here's a couple beavers using it. Let's take a look. So if you click, now the social life bar is going up, so they're going to get that fertility bonus. And as well, you'll see here, I never discussed the average well-being. This is how you can unlock things. So right now our average well-being is 3. Once beavers have a higher well-being, which you can increase by also filling these bars, then you'll get a higher average well-being. And once we get the average well-being of 8, we can unlock the eager beavers. So that's kind of how that works right there. Over here we've got like a carpenter, so we can make planks from logs, which planks are required for certain types of buildings. We've got a forester, which I actually would like to get because the forester will plant trees around an area. We do want to get research going, which is what I mentioned earlier. I could put the research hut right here behind. I might do that. I can't imagine the only other thing I'm probably going to put in the back here. Let's see, what could I put back here? I could fit the grill back there, couldn't I? It would have to go sideways, but it could fit like that. But I think I want to put the grill like in an area down here by a stockpile for storing potatoes or something. So I think putting the science back there is actually not a bad idea. We really should get science going. And I'm going to have stairs going up to this area back here as well. The only other thing would be maybe warehouses or a warehouse for storing some extra materials. How are we doing on capacity? Oh, we've actually have almost maxed that out in terms of capacity. Look at all the logs are storing too. But I was going to do warehouses right here, actually, next to our log area. So yeah, let's do the science back here. I like that. Okay, and so now we've got some beavers in housing, but we're going to build another additional house. And well-being has jumped to 4. Awesome. It'd be cool if you got certain things for well-being going up as well. I think that'd be neat, but I understand. Like I said, I'm just kind of shooting from the hip here. The game is beta, so that could potentially be in the works. All right, let's make sure we're harvesting more berries. In my first playthrough, I did by myself. There actually was a lot more like resources around me. This one, actually, the resources are a little more scarce. We'll chop more of these trees and these trees down. It makes me want to get the science place earlier. I actually waited a really long time before I got the science place, the research place, I guess, in my last one, because I felt like I didn't really need it. But in this one, I feel like I do, because I feel like I gotta get the forester a lot faster and get stairs and stuff a lot faster. Okay, so 1 beaver did jump on that. We're up to 10 adults now, which is good. 1 beaver has no job, so I guess we'll just get an additional worker here for now till I get the other farm up. Which I guess I should probably do. It would probably just make sense to do that, because then I can fit another one here, can't I? I sure can. So let's do the other carrot farm right here. They don't have to really line up, even though aesthetically I love when stuff is all like really symmetrical and nice looking, but it's like people told me one time, like, hey, Sabouts, you know, the symmetry has its own kind of unique flavor as well, so you don't want to get too hung up on, you know, making everything perfectly symmetrical. And it's the truth. Okay, so let's see, what else? If you build the hauling post, then haulers will assist with range, it increases their productivity, so workers actually receive a bonus to being able to haul. I don't think it's super useful right now, but I can see how once you start building farther and farther out and you're trying to bring resources to certain parts of the map, it could be pretty beneficial. We'll cut back on 2 of these workers here so they'll jump into the farm so we can start getting that planted for the food. Food's getting a little low, a little more lower anyways than I would like. Science is up to 9. So basically with science, all you have to do is once you get a certain amount of science points, you just spend it. It's really that simple. The first thing I do want to go for, I would say, is the forest. Because you need, yeah, the forester, because you need wood for pretty much everything. We are going to need a carpenter so we can make logs. So the very, very first thing I want is the stairs, because I want to put the forester, I think I want to turn this whole area up here into like forest harvesting area, because that's going to be basically like the center of our base, and then build around the outside with all the lodging and production buildings and stuff like that. So the whole outside of the islands for production and lodging, and the center area will be a gigantic forest. That'll look cool. That'll be really neat, actually. So all this stuff in here will kind of go away, but the stairs are going to be crucial to that. Such a small item to research, and yet so important. And we've got plenty of logs. So let's go ahead and get another house. It looks like we've got maybe 2 more houses we have to build after this. But we could just do them just like this. What am I going to do with that area over there? I don't know. I talked about putting another one of these at the end. I think I'm just going to expand it this way. I guess I'll make that decision when I come to it. I wonder if the houses could be upgraded. I've seen stuff like that. Do I get more research eventually? I don't even know. There's a lot of really cool things here. There's a whole power thing I haven't even touched up on yet. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff. I gotta tell you guys, this is a really cool game, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off here. We'll save checking out some of this other stuff for the next episode, which means if you're watching this, you like what you see, you're gonna wanna come back. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You get notified when the next video drops. It's a cool game, guys. Don't forget to check it out yourselves as well. I'm gonna be following this one really, really closely. I don't know, it's got some sort of, I mean, look how good it looks. It's got like this touch to it. It's so simplistic and so like just unique and cool. Yeah, let me know down below in the comment section what you think. Thank you all for joining me. Hope that you've enjoyed it. Look forward to seeing you next time.